More scale factor practice number 3. A box has dimensions of 14.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. Enlargements of the box are to be made with the scale factors below. Determine the dimensions of each enlargement, and if necessary, round your answers to the nearest centimeter. Number 1. A scale factor of 4. Scale factor is equal to scale over original. The scale factor will be 4, and for the original, we'll start with the large side or the long side of the original box, which is 14.5 centimeters. And the scale of the enlargement is the unknown. We have to isolate the s, so we'll do the opposite of divide by 14.5. So we'll multiply the right-hand side by 14.5 to isolate the s. If we multiply the right-hand side by 14.5, we have to multiply the left-hand side by 14.5 as well. Divide by 14.5 and multiply by 14.5 will cancel, leaving us with s, and 4 times 14.5 gives us 58. So the enlargement of the large side of the rectangular box will be 58 centimeters. Scale factor is equal to scale over original. Again, the scale factor is 4. This time we'll do the short side of the rectangular box, which is 9.5 centimeters for the original. And the scale of the enlargement is unknown. Again, we have to isolate the s by doing the opposite of divide by 9.5. So this time we'll multiply by 9.5. If we multiply the right-hand side by 9.5, we multiply the left-hand side by 9.5 as well. Divide by 9.5 and multiply by 9.5 cancel, leaving us with s. And 4 times 9.5 gives us a value of 38. So the enlargement on the short side will be 38 centimeters. Number 2, a scale factor of 15. Scale factor is equal to scale over original. This time the scale factor will be 15. The original of the large side of the rectangular box is 14.5. And the scale of the enlargement is the unknown. We have to isolate the s, so we'll do the opposite of divide by 14.5. So now we'll multiply by 14.5. Again, this means you multiply the right-hand side by 14.5, so the left-hand side will also be multiplied by 14.5. Divide by 14.5 and multiply by 14.5 cancel, leaving us with s. And 15 times 14.5 gives us a value of 217.5. Now remember, we're going to round our answers to the nearest centimeter. So the 7 will round up to an 8, and this gives us a value of 218 centimeters. Scale factor is scale over original. The scale factor is 15. This time the original will be the short side, which is 9.5 centimeters. And the scale of the enlargement is the unknown. To isolate the s, we do the opposite of divide by 9.5. So we multiply by 9.5. We also multiply the left-hand side by 9.5 as well. Divide by 9.5 and times 9.5 will cancel, leaving us with s. And 15 times 9.5 gives us a value of 142.5. Again, round to the nearest centimeter. The 2 will round up to a 3. So we'll have a final answer of 143 centimeters. Question number 3. A scale factor of 9 over 2. Scale factor is equal to scale over original. This time the scale factor will be 9 over 2. For the original, we'll start with the longest side, which is 14.5 centimeters. And the scale of the enlargement is the unknown. This time we'll solve by using cross multiplication. So we'll start with 9 times 14.5. And on the other side, we have s times 2. 9 times 14.5 is 130.5. And s times 2 is 2s. We have to still isolate the s, so we'll do the opposite of times 2. So we'll divide the right-hand side by 2, which means we have to divide the left-hand side by 2 as well. The times 2 and divided by 2 will cancel, leaving us with s. And 130.5 divided by 2 is 65.25. Again, we have to round to the nearest centimeter, so the 5 will round down and stay as a 5. So the final answer will be 65 centimeters. Scale factor is equal to scale over original. The scale factor is still 9 over 2. For the original, we'll go to the short side again. And the short side of the original box is going to be 9.5 centimeters. And the scale of the enlargement is the unknown. Again, cross multiply. So we have 9 times 9.5. And on the other side, we have s times 2. 9 times 9.5 is 85.5. And s times 2 is 2s. To isolate the s, we do the opposite of times 2, so we divide the right-hand side by 2. If we divide the right-hand side by 2, we have to divide the left-hand side by 2 as well. Times 2 and divided by 2 will cancel, leaving us with s. And 85.5 divided by 2 gives us 42.75. We round to the nearest centimeter, so the 2 will round up to a 3. So we'll have an answer of 43 centimeters.